You ask the friend to deliver your message because you believe they have influence. Now consider this. What if you could directly speak to the president yourself? Wouldn't it be more meaningful, more empowering to have that direct connection? When we think about our relationship with God, the creator of the heavens and the earth, we realize something profound. This is the being who knows us better than anyone ever could. Our thoughts, our struggles, our fears. This is the one who created us, who sustains every heartbeat, and who has promised to be near when we call upon him. Why would we need anyone else to carry our words when he is listening, ready to respond? Let's pause for a moment and reflect. If we truly believe that God is all-knowing and all-powerful, what does it mean when we seek intermediaries? Does it suggest that God is distant, or perhaps that he is too busy to hear us? But if God is truly infinite, then no number of voices calling to him simultaneously would ever overwhelm him. He is beyond limitations. Some people might argue, I'm not worthy to approach God directly, I've made mistakes, I'm too flawed. But let's think about this. Who knows our imperfections better than the one who created us? He knows we're imperfect, and yet he still calls us to turn to him directly. When a child spills a drink and feels embarrassed, does the parent turn away? No. The parent rushes to help, to clean up the mess, to offer comfort. In the same way, God's mercy and love are far greater than we can imagine. And here's the beauty of this relationship. It's not about being perfect, it's about sincerity. Imagine a person standing under a heavy rainstorm, desperately trying to collect water in their hands. No matter how much slips through their fingers, they will still catch some. In the same way, even when we feel unworthy or flawed, God's mercy and compassion still reach us. Now some might say, but intermediaries like saints or prophets can intercede for us. They're closer to God. Here's the thing, imagine you're a parent and your child needs something. They don't come to you directly, but instead ask their sibling to speak on their behalf. As a parent, wouldn't you want your child to come to you, to trust you enough to share their need directly? In a similar way, the Creator has always invited us to speak directly to him. Think about the idea of intermediaries in practical terms. Let's say you're at a hospital and need urgent medical attention. Would you feel comfortable if someone else explained your symptoms to the doctor while you stood silently nearby? Or would you prefer to speak for yourself, ensuring that every detail of your condition was understood? Speaking directly ensures clarity, sincerity, and a personal connection. Let's also consider the logic behind intercession. If God is all-knowing and all-powerful, does he need anyone to remind him of our needs? Would an intermediary's words carry more weight than our own heartfelt prayers? Of course not. It's not about eloquence or titles, it's about sincerity and humility. Some might feel a deep sense of connection to figures like Jesus or saints, because they've lived exemplary lives. They inspire us, no doubt, but admiration shouldn't turn into dependence. Their lives are like road signs pointing us toward the Creator, not detours that lead us away. Even the most pious individuals ultimately direct their devotion to God, acknowledging that only he can fulfill needs and answer prayers. History offers us insight here. Many religious traditions originally emphasized a direct relationship with God. Over time, practices developed where people sought the help of intermediaries. Often these changes were rooted in cultural traditions or human tendencies to create tangible connections to the divine. But when we strip everything back, the purest form of devotion is simple, speaking directly to the one who made us. Let's use an analogy. Imagine you're in a forest, lost, and call for help. You wouldn't wait for someone to relay your cry. You'd shout as loudly as you could, directly. In moments of desperation, we instinctively turn to the source of all power and mercy. Why then complicate that in moments of peace? Some might point to the example of respected figures in their faith as intermediaries, but even they would likely encourage direct communication with God. The lives of such individuals were marked by devotion, not by diverting people's prayers away from God, but by calling people toward him. Another reason people turn to intermediaries is the idea of humility. I'm too small, too insignificant to approach the Creator, they might think. But isn't it humbling to acknowledge that despite our smallness, God has made himself accessible to us? He has given us the ability to reach out to him anytime, anywhere, without the need for a mediator. Prayer is a deeply personal act. Imagine someone whispering their most vulnerable feelings to a close friend, trusting that they will be heard without judgment. That's the essence of prayer, a raw, honest connection where we don't need to hide behind formalities or titles. And let's not forget, the Creator doesn't judge prayers based on eloquence or length. Even a single heartfelt word can hold immense weight. Think of a child who, in pain, simply says, "Help." A parent doesn't wait for the child to craft a perfect sentence. They respond immediately. In the same way, our Creator responds to our sincerity, not our sophistication. Consider this. If we rely on intermediaries, we risk creating distance between ourselves and God. That's not what the Creator wants. He desires a direct, unfiltered relationship with us, one where we feel no barriers, no hesitation. Finally, let's remind ourselves of the simplicity of faith. It's about trust. When we place our trust directly in the Creator, we experience a deeper sense of peace. We realize that we're not alone, that the one who created us is always listening, always near, and always ready to respond. So, the invitation is clear. Speak directly, seek directly, trust directly. Because the one who created you loves you, knows you, and is always waiting for you to call upon him.